Hi, my name is Adam Sussman, Head of Research at TABB Group, joined by Philippe Carre, Global Head of Client Connectivity for SunGard Capital Markets. Here today to talk about Turkey and some of the steps it's been taking recently in order to modernize its capital markets. Now, Turkey's always been a big market, certainly from our clients and I'm sure from your clients, it's been an area of interest. But some of the steps they've taken over the last year or so has sparked even more interest in being able to trade Turkey directly. Tell me, what made it so difficult in the past that perhaps kept some folks on the sidelines?
So I think you're right. First of all, it's a big market, it's a big country, it's a big developing country. Seen as, we talk a lot about the BRIC and this second acronym BRIC-SAT with South Africa and Turkey. I mean, we are talking that kind of of experience out there.
Beyond emerging, but not developed.
Exactly. It's just outside of the EU, but very close. It sells a lot of things. It's a mini China for Europe, basically. They do a lot of things which they export to Europe. So it's been on the agenda of our clients and of the financial community for a while. But the perception was, it's a bit antiquated. Technology was not very good. The capital markets, basically, if you look at the capital market and the market cap, the involvement of foreign institutions is already very high. So I think, it's done. But it's not really done. It's people are in there for the long term.
Right.
They've invested with the Turkish blue chips. A lot of people have done a lot of money because this is a growing market.
Right.
But it remains smaller compared to other, we talked about South Africa. The market cap compared to the GDP is much higher in South Africa than it is Turkey. So you might say it's there, but at the same time it's not quite there.
I mean, it's matured, but it hasn't reached its potential.
Exactly, and I think there is a very firm ambition from the government, from on the political side, to make it happen.
Yep.
To change the infrastructure of the markets, to change the landscape in which the capital markets operate out there. And there is a very strong ambition, I think, from coming all the way from the top, from the Prime Minister, from the Ministry of Economy, from the President, to make sure that that Istanbul, it becomes again a very important financial center, but they become a regional center.
Well, and it's coming at an opportune time because at the same time you have the Western countries, which are frankly taking a more anti-capital markets stance, or at least the regulations that they're putting into place, whether you think that they're helpful or not, are going to constrain the capital markets in those countries at the same time that you have better economic conditions in some of these emerging or slightly beyond emerging countries. So I think it's when you say political, that's how I think of it. It's I think they're being opportunistic at this.
I think they're being opportunistic, and they see there is. I think they think this is a moment. This is a moment where we've made it. We are. If you see the way that the president I think the prime minister was received in Egypt, because they are seen. You have to realize that it's a bridge. So I look at them from a European standpoint, and they are very close. They're almost as if they are inside Europe, but they are also not in Europe, and they are. It's a Muslim country, very big, which a lot of Arab countries look at Turkey as being a model. They have very strong growth. 2 years ago, they were 9.5% growth rate. I mean, it's Chinese level of growth that you're talking. I mean, the country is changing unbelievably, and I think they've realized that the country itself, the political, the elite out there realizes if we want it to sustain and we want that to continue, we are going to need to have a strong capital market structure.
Right.
And today it's underdeveloped. It suffers from inadequacies and antiquacies, so we need to change that. And so there's this very strong will. Let's make of Istanbul a regional financial center. And to be even a financial center and to be regional, we've got to rebuild it.
Right.
And that's exactly what's happening now.
Now, a lot of people are impressed with the job that the new leader of the exchange has done. Talk about some of the things he's been able to implement over a relatively short period of time.
Yes, I mean, what's impressive is the speed. So suddenly we've been active in the market for quite a while now, and suddenly it's like somebody's pressed on the accelerator, everything's going much faster. Suddenly they've been talking about a lot of things that are happening now are things that we've been talking about for over the last almost 10 years. And suddenly, bam, they're happening. But they're happening almost every week. There's a new news comes out about how this is going to change. So they're going to federate the exchanges, put them together under the one umbrella, something which sounds very natural to do for, seen from the US or Europe, which out there they've been talking about, but now it's going to happen. They are on the lookout to getting a partner in terms of financial technology, but also know-how, expertise, how to grow their market, how they're going to do to take Turkey and make Turkey 2.0. And I think they have this very strong ambition, and I think they have a space to do it. They have a space because they can. There is a demand in Turkey for the government to go and list companies. They are pushing a lot to get Turkish companies, to come to the exchange and list.
Right.
And I think they will use their political and they will use their political clout in the region to attract companies from outside to come to Istanbul. But for that to happen, they need to have the institutions sorted out. They need to have a very, I would say, what we would call a Western standard, style capital markets, with a clearinghouse, with a proper scheme, and probably at some point remote membership or not. But they need to have proper trading technology.
So they're still behind the curve relative to the Warsaw Exchange, for example, in terms of being able to or having a equity capital markets of similar standards to the Western countries. Is that
exactly?
Is that
I think it's a fair assessment. I think what is going to be impressive that they will catch up, and as things happen, they will catch up much faster.
When do you think they're going to catch up?
I think within probably the next 2 years, the market out there will be no longer recognizable. It will be literally a new version.
Interesting. And so then what happens from there?
That's the $1 million question. What happens next? I really think their ambition to become a regional financial center, so they're going to build a financial center. They're going to move on, Borsa Istanbul, offering equity trading, derivatives, stock, single stock futures, equity options, index futures. So the commodity side. I think the next step is for them will be the regional side. Right. It will be to exploit what they see as one of their strengths, is this bridge, between the West and the East.
From regional, is it like you said, is it bridging the East and the West? From a partnership perspective, from pulling in listings from other countries, who do you see as a natural fit for them in terms of it doesn't have to be a merger, but just a partnership of sorts?
No, you could see them becoming a gateway. Mm-hmm. They could, for the stands, for example, who may not want to go to Moscow, but will want to have some kind of, Western access, or who may not want to go to the London Stock Exchange or to the New York Stock Exchange. Istanbul could be their gateway to the West. It's also a Muslim country, so they could go towards Malaysia, Indonesia. They will play that card. This is a very entrepreneurial.
Right.
These are very people who've been, negotiating, dealing. So they will go.
So it may not be regional. It may be, some other connection that allows them to draw in other participants, right?
Absolutely. So I think, exactly, and I think at some point, once they have rebuilt the market, basically, they will get other people to come in. They are going to go and they're going to try to exploit some of the links that they've put in politically, so that the existing political alliances that they have in the region, they're going to use that to plug the stock exchange in there.
Interesting. Well, thank you. Thanks, Philippe, for joining me. Philippe Carre, Global Head of Client Connectivity with SunGard Capital Markets. Myself, Adam Sussman, Head of Research at TABB Group. Thank you.